Good morning. We are going to use a yoga block in the beginning just to help with some activation. If you don't have a yoga block, that's okay. And if you have two, that's also great. But we'll want one or both yoga blocks, either way, all at the back of the yoga mat, so you can grab them from laying down and then from the back end. And then for practice this week, I had some requests from people for glute engagement and core engagement, so we'll lean into that a little bit. In the beginning, we'll kind of blend some less traditional yoga movements into the flow, and then we'll kind of get more into familiar yoga territory from there. But allowing your practice this morning to be an invitation for devotion. I was thinking about how when we come to our yoga practice, the yoga practice isn't asking us for perfection. It's not asking us to be physically strong and physically flexible. All it asks is for us to continue to show up and to be curious, to be willing and open to introspection and reflection. But the foundation beneath that is just the dedication and the commitment of showing up time and time again, continuing on the path of exploration, and continuing on the journey, and making that commitment to ourselves. And I think it's really easy in our world to abandon ourselves first, right? The first thing that we abandon is ourselves and our well-being. We have jobs and obligations and responsibilities, and oftentimes those pertain to things outside of taking care of self. And so I think, especially in the busyness of this time of the year, I've talked to a lot of people, they're like, the first thing to go is my movement practice or any sort of downtime or intentional rest, because the to-do list is a little bit longer. And I think when we prioritize that care for self, taking some time each day, however long that might be, to connect to present, right? To connect to the body and the breath, that actually sets us up to move through everything else with that much more mindfulness and intention. And so maybe today or this week or in this season, making the commitment to showing up to your practice, but also just that dedication to showing up for yourself and not abandoning yourself along the way. So with that, we're going to start in Shavasana, laying down, if that feels supportive for you this morning. So take a moment just to organize yourself across the earth, finding a comfortable shape to land in. Maybe this is arms and legs long. Maybe knees bent and knocked together to support one another for a bit of a low back release. If your body enjoys hip opening from the very beginning, you could explore Supta Baddha Konasana, your supine butterfly shape. And then let's place our hands intentionally, either on the body or on the earth, palms face down, for a sense of grounding, a sense of rooting, just to help us anchor into this present moment, into our practice. In this time that you have made the conscious choice to set aside, to be here, and to be in deep connection and relationship to your body and to your breath. In this time that you have chosen to be in introspection, to explore your interior with curiosity. And we can start this process just through noticing the rise and fall of inhale and exhale. Just the observation of your natural breath as your inhale fills up and your exhale empties out. And through this tool of mindful observation, we feel ourselves arriving a little bit more and more to the present with each cycle of breath. When you're ready to extend your breath, expand your breath, feel the ebb and flow of inhale and exhale grow a little bit wider and a little bit longer. And through this process of adding length to our breath, maybe notice if the space between your thoughts also increases. And using this space as a tool to help us notice the content, the quality, the nature of our thoughts. So you have a little bit more room and space, a little bit of distance to really observe what's moving through the mind. These creatures with busy lives, especially in this busy time of year, it's very maybe rare that we take these moments to slow down. And so can we notice what comes up, what rises to the surface when we make space and slow down? And we task the brain with simply watching the breath. What thoughts bubble to the surface, asking to be acknowledged and heard and known. And allowing that to also be part of our practice this morning. Part of our practice of not abandoning ourselves, by really tuning in to make room for the heart and mind to be heard. Whenever you're ready, start to take a really deep breath in through your nose. Allow a moment of pause at the top, and then open mouth exhale to release. And then going twice more like that, deep, expansive inhale. Gather your breath in through your nose. And then open mouth exhale, release that breath away. And just one more round. Inhale deeply, inhale fully. Feel the sensations that accompany your breath. And when it feels right, open mouth exhale, release. Really be in the experience of your exhale. And starting to shift into your mindful Ujjayi breath. Breathing in and out of your nose with intention. Start to move towards a full body stretch. Just notice how your body is feeling in this moment today. Maybe find some circles through your ankles and wrists. Feel into your fingers and toes. And start to gather your knees to your chest. And take a little sway from side to side with a deep breath in. On exhale, allow both your knees to fall to the left into a gentle twist. As you release your right shoulder back towards the earth, it feels okay to tip your gaze over to the right side of the room. Allow that rotation to travel up the entire length of your spine. Send a deep breath down through your right side body. And then try to be really patient as that exhale empties out, not rushing the breath. Just allowing the breath to empty on its own. We'll breathe through center, no rush. Inhale your knees to the midline. And then just exhale your legs over to the right, finding your gentle twist second side. Feel a sense of widening across your collarbones as your shoulders sink heavy towards the earth, and maybe look over to the left side of the room. And feel your awareness travel with your breath down your left side body. Feel the sensation of your inhale create space along your left side. And again, patience as your exhale empties out. Maybe offering the gentle commitment to stay connected to breath throughout your practice today. Dedicating awareness to inhale in and exhale out for these 60 minutes. And as you're ready to come back to center, knees to the heart space, if you have your yoga block, you're going to grab it and place it in between your thighs, the narrow setting, as we set up for a bridge pose. If you don't have the block, again, no worries. Setting up for your bridge pose, right? Heels about stacked beneath your knees. We'll start to hug into that block, and then just begin to engage through your center. Before lifting your hips, can you feel a slight tucking of your tailbone up to your yoga block or up to the backs of your knees? And from there, as you hug in and you start to tuck your tailbone up, use an inhale to lift your hips into your bridge pose, squeeze to center. If you're working without a yoga block, you can also play with having a really narrow bridge so you can walk your feet all the way together and squeeze through your inner thighs to find that midline integration. And from this bridge pose, as we inhale, we're going to continue to hug in and tuck the tailbone up as we lower our hips down to just a hover with inhale. On exhale, squeeze in, tuck up, lift your hips, press super firm through your heels to help activate your glutes and hamstrings. We'll do that same thing twice more. Inhale, find just a hover, keeping the engagement even as you lower. On your exhale, scoop your tailbone forward and up, press through your heels and lift your hips as you hug to the midline. And just one more time like that, your inhale to bring your hips down towards your hover. Again, you're still trying to stay active even as you lower your hips. And exhale, squeeze in and up to find your bridge. At the top, can you press through your heels? Maybe take one more, a little bit of lift through your hips. Really feel your glutes light up. And then lower your pelvis all the way down to the ground. Keep the block between your thighs as you bring your knees into an upside down tabletop. Again, if you don't have a block, you're just going to hug your thighs really tightly together at center. Let's go hands behind our head, elbows nice and wide. Use the strength of your core to anchor your low back firmly to the earth. And as you inhale, start to send your legs forward and down any amount. So you can extend your legs towards like a 45-degree angle or towards a hover, but you choose how long and low your legs go. As you exhale, bend your knees towards your chest, squeeze into your block. Lift your head and shoulders, and we'll twist left elbow to right thigh. Good. Inhaling through center, squeeze to the midline, lengthen your legs forward and down any amount. Heart opens to the sky. Low back pressing to the earth. Exhale, second side, bend and twist right elbow towards your left thigh. We'll go through 2 more cycles. So your inhale, your opening. Starting to activate the core, hug to the midline. Exhale, bend and rotate left elbow, right thigh. But inhale through center, find your extension. And exhale, right elbow to left thigh, slow and strong. Really crunch up and in. Squeeze your block, your inner thighs. And last cycle through, inhale to open. Can you find engagement in both directions? And then from your strong core, slow and strong, exhale, bend and twist. Last one here, inhale, lengthen, open. Exhale, bend and twist. The block stays between the thighs, and we're going to set up for one more round of bridge pose. Head and shoulders drop back. Release your arms alongside your body. Squeeze in, tuck your tailbone up to the sky, and then drive through your heels and lift your hips. Option one is just to press down through your feet. Feel that elevation of your hips to the ceiling and hold there. Or squeezing to the midline, really strong through your center. Maybe reach your right heel forward to the front of the room, so in a single leg bridge. Anchored through your left foot, take a big breath in. And as you exhale, right foot releases down. Reset, hug in and up. If you took the single leg bridge variation, shift slightly to the right. So you can hug into your block and extend your left heel forward for a moment. Pressing down through your right foot, especially your heel, take a big breath in. And then exhale, left foot lands. We'll inhale to lift in and up for one more moment. Then exhale to release. Take the block and set it to the back of your yoga mat. And then find your happy baby. So hands maybe to catch the fronts of your knees. Or you might reach up to your ankles or to your feet. Little rock from side to side as you take an inhale. And then exhale, figure four, your right ankle on top of your left thigh. Choose to either land your left foot to the earth, or maybe your hands gather that figure four close to your body. Interlacing at the back of your left hamstring or at the front of your left shin. Take a sway from left to right. And send a deep breath to your right hip. We'll transition through happy baby to find second side. So just for a moment, hands to knees, ankles, or feet. Draw your shoulders out of your ears. Maybe find a slight tuck of your chin to lengthen at the nape of your neck. Deep breath in. And exhale, figure four, left ankle on your right thigh. Again, check in to see what the side needs. And choosing stillness or movement, take a breath or two here. Allowing your left hip an opportunity to receive some space as you reconnect and recommit to your breath. And we'll start to unwind our legs as you're ready to find your way up into your tabletop pose. So however you'd like to find your way to all fours. And as you find your tabletop, take 2 to 3 breaths just to find some movement here. Any intuitive movement to check in with your spine. If you have wrist stretches and warm-ups that you like to incorporate, giving yourself some time there. Maybe you go directly into your cat and cow. You can add any sort of forward and backward motion here. And maybe just continuing on your own, or we'll take a cat and cow together. Inhaling to cow pose. Push strong through your hands as you actively lift your heart and tailbone to the sky. And exhale, tuck through your tailbone and then round your spine to your cat pose. As you draw chin to chest, can you maintain the distance between shoulders and ears? And then start to find neutral through your spine, so find your tabletop. And we'll send our right tippy toes back, press through your right heel to create a stretch through your calf muscle. We're headed to a supported side plank, opening to the right side of the room. So as you're ready, you're going to start to pivot open to the right. Your left foot becomes a kickstand as your right hand reaches to the sky. You can take a wrist swirl through your right wrist in each direction. Maybe extend your right hand overhead to the front of the room for a side body stretch. And then you can decide to have your right hand reaching overhead to the front of the room or up to the ceiling. We're going to engage our core, so think about using your strong center to lift your front hip bones towards your front ribs. Extend your tailbone to the back of the room and squeeze from your outer glute to lift your right leg up. Either flex your right foot or point your right toes, but find that squeeze to your outer hip. Think about encouraging your pelvis forward and continue to stretch your tailbone to the back of the room. You can use your outer glute to lift the pinky edge of your right foot just a little bit higher as you take one more big breath in. And exhale, place your right foot down. Our next transition is a little bit funky. Our destination is a forearm side plank to face the opposite side of the room. So I'm going to start to turn down towards the earth and bring my right forearm parallel to the top of my yoga mat. You're going to turn onto your right tippy toes and then turn open to the left so you're on the outside edge of your right foot. You can reach your left hand to the sky. Your feet can be staggered or stacked here. To find strong, firm connection of your right forearm, your right elbow down into the earth. You can always bring your right knee to the ground for some support. Right? Whatever version of your side plank you're in, your forearm side plank, on an inhale, maybe bring your hips down to hover or tap the ground. On your exhale, drive into the earth to squeeze and lift your hips up nice and high. If we go twice more like that, inhale. Right hip lowers or taps. Exhale, squeeze through your right side body, push down to the ground to lift. One more time, inhale, lower. Continue to tuck your tailbone towards your heels. Exhale, squeeze, lift. Okay, from here, we're going to a traditional forearm plank to face forward. So bringing left elbow to the earth, adjust your right forearm. You're on your tippy toes, forearm plank. Drive into the earth to hug your front body to your back body. Engage through your glutes. Take a nice big breath. On exhale, Sphinx pose, hips to the earth. Untuck your toes. Heavy through your hips, take a moment to drive down into the earth through your arms and legs, creating an upward energetic boost for the crown of your head. Dragging the earth towards you, feel your heart pull forward and through your biceps. And then elbows wide, lower through your belly down, Shavasana. Take a breath in. And take a breath out. Draw your hands to frame your rib cage. Now as you inhale, you're going to find a low cobra, a high cobra, or an upward facing dog, depending what your body is ready for in this moment. We're making our way to downward facing dog as you're ready. Eventually send your hips to the sky and take a little pedal through your feet. Can we come back to our commitment to the breath? Our dedication to the present as we feel into the body, as we feel the rise and fall of each inhale and each exhale. Take a walk to the top of your yoga mat until you arrive in your forward fold. Soften your knees and fold across your thighs, and just take a moment here, exploring any movement that feels intuitive. Allowing the weight of your skull to become extra heavy And then with some softness in your knees, deep breath in, find your halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Feel your hip creases press back, crown of the head extends forward. And then exhale, forward fold, let it go. We'll rise to stand with a big circle sweep. Urdhva Hastasana is your inhale. And then fold it right back down to your forward fold as you exhale. Breath in to lift up halfway. And on your breath out, find your high plank position. Take an inhale here, sliding forward to your tippy toes. Knees up or down, chaturanga, lower halfway or all the way with intention. Follow your inhale to up dog or cobra, untuck your toes. Open the space of your heart. And then downward facing dog, hips go up and back. And from your downward facing dog, release your knees to the earth for your tabletop. Inhale to cow, lift your heart and tailbone. And exhale to cat, drawing front ribs up into your back body, shoulder blades spread wide, big push into the earth. You'll arrive at neutral, lengthen your spine, and then stretch your left tippy toes to the back of your yoga mat. Push down and forward with your hands to emphasize the stretch to the back of your left leg. And then pivot open, supported side plank, turning to the left side of the room. Find a swirl through your left wrist in each direction. Gripping the earth strong with your right finger pads, extend your left hand up and overhead, side body stretch. Think about your right ribs drawing up through your body to the sky. That's going to help stretch open your left side body. Now you can decide to have your left hand reaching overhead to the front of the room, or you can reach it back to the ceiling. And really light up your core. Tuck your tailbone to the back of the room and squeeze from your outer glute to lift your left leg up. Hugging from that outer seat strength, either flex or point your left toes. Try to keep your hips in line with your shoulders, in line with your right hand and your right knee. Can you squeeze the outer seat and lift a little bit higher as you take one more breath in? On exhale, place your left foot down. Here's that big transition, forearm side plank to face the right side of the room. So start to bring your left forearm parallel to the earth. Turning open to the right. Right hand reaches to the sky. And remember, you can always bring left knee to the ground as well for support. From your forearm side plank, inhale, perhaps bring your hips towards a hover or to tap. Exhale, squeeze your left side body to lift your hips nice and high. And then finding 2 more cycles. Inhale, maybe a small or a big dip at the hips. Exhale, squeeze, lift. One more time. Inhale. And exhale, squeeze, lift. Good. From here, we're going to square off traditional forearm plank to the front of our yoga mat. So bring your right forearm down. And just your left forearm as you turn onto your tippy toes. Big push into the earth. Drawing front hip bones to front ribs. Take an inhale. And then hips to the earth, Sphinx pose as you exhale, untuck your toes. If you'd like to this time, as you get strong through your glutes, maybe press through your hands and lift your elbows to your baby seal. Actually, I think this is just regular seal. Either way, in a seal pose, a heart opening breath in. And then elbows wide, release through your belly down, Shavasana, breath out. Hands arrive to frame your ribcage. Inhale through your heart opening to downward facing dog. So through a low cobra, high cobra, or upward facing. Super strong legs. Exhale to downward facing dog. And once we arrive, let's take a deep breath in. And an open mouth exhale out. We'll inhale left leg to the sky, three-legged. On your exhale, bend your knee and open your hip. Take a breath here, movement or stillness. Core strong, left glute active. And on your next in-breath, re-extend your left leg, three-legged dog. Exhale brings knee to nose. Can we push into the earth and round and tuck the whole journey forward? Arriving with thigh to chest, shoulders out of ears. Three-legged dog, inhale, left leg lifts. And then one time, left knee towards your right tricep. Again, push down into the earth, tuck and round through that whole journey forward, adding your twist. And three-legged dog, inhale, left leg to the sky. As you exhale, step your left foot forward between your hands. And then we're going to go to our warrior two. So rotate your right heel to the earth. As you're ready, hips drop down and slowly root to rise, Virabhadrasana 2. Good. From your warrior two, can you feel the engagement of your glutes? Okay, so can we feel left heel anchored into the earth to help us light up our left seat? Can we root to the pinky edge, the knife edge, and the heel of our right foot to feel our right side engage? As you root to the outer edge of your right foot, you can think about it like a little bit of a lift or upward energy through the arch of your foot. And then allow your hips to settle down towards that 90 degrees with your left knee. Notice how it feels. Make adjustments based on the information you're receiving from your body. And then follow an inhale to reverse your warrior left hand to the sky. On your exhale, side angle, can you keep that connection to both seats, your left side, your right side, as you find side angle? Okay, we're going to rise to our star pose from here. So as you breathe in, rise up. Rotate all 10 toes forward first. And then goddess squat, pivot your heels in. Elbows go wide. Now for today, we're just going to be in our goddess squat for a few rounds of breath. Rather than thinking about how low you can go, can you rise up out of your maximum depth to that place where you can really use your belly strength to lift the front of the bowl of your pelvis? Think heavy tailbone. Find that sweet spot where your front body can pull in and your glutes and your core are able to activate the most. I know for me, if this is my maximum depth, to find my maximum engagement, I'm about here. Good. Check that your knees and toes are in alignment. And then when you're ready, feeling that mind-body connection of your glutes and your heels, can you press your heels and rise up slow and strong to return to your star pose? Good. From here, we're going to go warrior two to the back of the room. So take your left heel, spin it towards the front of your yoga mat. Rotate your right toes to the back of the room and bend your right knee. From Virabhadrasana 2, inhale to reverse, reach your right hand high. And then exhale, low lunge to the back of the room, windmill down. And square your hips, turn onto your left tippy toes. Okay. From here, if you wanted to grab your yoga blocks or blocks, we're going to move towards a Shiva squat, so they'd be a little bit out in front of you. You can also do this with your fingertips on the earth. We want to keep our hips really low. So hips low, lean forward into your right foot. Pressing through your right heel, can you tuck your left knee to tap your right calf? Now, keep your hips, your torso, everything where it is in space. Hips nice and low, chest relatively proud. On your in-breath, just reach your left tippy toes back to tap the ground. Again, hips stay forward. On your exhale, push through your right heel to tuck back to that Shiva squat. Think about pressing your right knee and shin bone back as you tuck your left knee in. One more time, inhale, left big toe just taps back. Exhale, drive through your right heel as you find that Shiva squat, left knee tucks in. Okay, step all the way back to your low lunge, left foot steps back. Hands come to frame your right foot on the earth, so ditching your yoga blocks, take an inhale. And exhale, bring your right knee up into your nose. And then step back into a downward facing dog. Right foot meets your left. Take a little pedal, and then we inhale, left leg to the sky, three-legged. Exhale, knee to nose. Hold for inhale. See if you can stay for exhale. Three-legged dog, inhale, left leg lifts. Left knee towards your right tricep as you breathe out, shift and twist. Hold for inhale. Pushing through your hands to lift thigh bone a little tighter as you stay for exhale. Three-legged dog, inhale, left leg high. On your out breath, step your left foot forward between your hands. Wide-legged forward fold, turn your toes to the right and dive down for a breath. Feel free to tick-tock your hips a little side to side, bend one knee, then the other. Just take a moment here to catch your breath. When you're ready, you're going to bend into your right knee and rotate to the right, low lunge to face forward. Step forward to a forward fold, left foot meets your right. And then inhale to lift up halfway. On your exhale, finding chair pose, sink through your seat, lift through your heart and hands, nice big breath in. Exhale, hands to heart center. Go start to engage through your strong core, leaning into your left foot, come to right tippy toes. Up from here, flamingo your right heel up and in. Now you're going to keep your shoulders and your hips pretty much in the same place. Think about your hips, your left knee moving energetically back. We're just going to do that same reach and tap of right big toe. So inhale, right big toe just takes a little tap back. Doesn't matter how far it goes. And exhale to your flamingo chair. Push through your left heel to pull your right knee in. Twice more. If you want more challenge, you can reach further back, get a little bit lower as you inhale. Exhale, push your left heel, flamingo chair, core super active and engaged. One more time, inhale, tap back. Exhale, flamingo chair. Now stagger your right tippy toes to the earth, about a footprint and a half. Back from your left foot, feet are hips distance. Engage your core, shift your hips back and down, lift through your heart and hands. So we're in this stagger footed chair. As we inhale, we're going to bend into our knees, ending them out, get low, 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 low in your squat. Maybe hands reach down to frame your left foot or to tap the earth. As you exhale, pressing through your left heel, rise all the way to stand. Step your right foot to meet your left, hands to heart center. Closing down your eyes, take a nice big breath in. And then an open mouth exhale out. Okay, from here, open your eyes. Shift your weight into your right foot. Bring your left knee up in line with your hip, one-legged mountain. So our left glute just did a lot for us. We're going to stretch that out with our figure four, left ankle on your right thigh. Begin to guide your hips back and down. Think about maintaining the length of your spine, that openness of your sternum, stretching forward as your hip creases press back. One breath in. And one super slow, mindful breath out. Here we go. We inhale to rise back up, one-legged mountain. We'll exhale towards our high crescent lunge, traveling through airplane or warrior three along the way. So just find your slowest, most intentional journey back. Maybe giving your airplane a full cycle of breath if you're feeling steady. Eventually, you'll step left to be toes to the earth, and your in-breath reaches your hands to the sky. With exhale, hands come down to frame your right foot, and we are headed into our second set. We got to make our way all the way back around. So, right leg to the ceiling, three-legged dog. Take a big breath in. Try to relax your head as you bend your knee and open your hip. Feel your core and your right glute nice and strong. Take a breath. On your inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale brings your right knee to your nose as you push into the earth and shift forward. Three-legged dog is your inhale. Right knee towards your left tricep as you exhale. Three-legged dog, full breath in. Place your right foot forward on your breath out. So to set up your feet for warrior two, left heel spins down. Take a moment to feel the connection between your roots, your feet and the earth, hips get low. Slow and strong inhale to rise up, Virabhadrasana 2. And your exhale, adjust, refine, settle. Feel your right heel pressing down to light up your right seat. And feel your right glute encourage your right knee wide open to the right. Try not to forget about your extended left leg, long and strong. Anchored through the pinky edge, that knife edge, and the heel of your left foot. From there, as you're ready, inhale to reverse your warrior. Keep both glutes strong and engaged. Exhale, side angle, swim it forward. Maintaining the anchored energy through our feet. With your breath in, find your star pose, rise and rotate. A little different this time, keeping your feet either parallel to one another, so all 10 toes can face towards the long edge of your yoga mat, or you can slightly externally rotate them. But we're going to do a side lunge to each side. So from your star pose, take a big breath in. On exhale, hands to heart, or you can spread your wings. Bend into your left knee, pressing your pelvis back. Engage your core. Think about being heavy through your left heel. Left shin bone is pressing back in space. As you rise back to your star pose, breath in. Exhale to the right, lateral lunge. Again, think about really pressing your right hip back in space. Feel your core super active, low belly drawn in. And then root to rise, star pose. We go warrior two to the back. Adjust your feet, Virabhadrasana 2, left knee bent. Big breath in to reverse your warrior. Find your side body space along the left. Low lunge to the back of the room, windmill down. And turn onto your right to be toes to square your hips. So again, for these Shiva squats, we're going to lean forward. Feel free to grab your yoga blocks or have your hands on the earth. As you lean forward, weight in your left foot. Use your core to tuck your right knee in, Shiva squat. To get your hips nice and low. Feel that heaviness through your left heel. Inhale, right toes tap back. Exhale, Shiva squat. Pull your belly up and in. Twice more. Inhale, right toes tap back. Drive through your left heel, feel your left glute as you exhale, Shiva squat. One more time, staying low. Inhale, right toes tap back. Exhale, Shiva squat. Good. Step your right toes all the way back now, so you're in your low lunge. Hands come to the earth to frame your left foot. Pressing through your palms, take a big breath in. Tricky transition. Exhale, left knee to nose. Can you pluck your left foot up off the earth? And then from your core, step back, downward facing dog. Nice work. Take a little wiggle here. Take a big breath in. Open mouth, exhale out. Okay, we're almost there. We're going to inhale, right leg to the sky, three-legged. Exhale, knee to nose. Hug your front ribs in as you hold for breath in. And stay for breath out. Three-legged dog, inhale to reach. And exhale, right knee towards your left tricep, shoulders out of ears. We hold for inhale. And you really squeeze into your right side as you hold for exhale. Three-legged dog, big breath in. Place your right foot forward between your hands, finding care and intention along the way. Wide-legged forward fold, all 10 toes turning to the left. Find the long edge of your yoga mat and bow forward. Maybe take a breath in through your nose. Maybe an open mouth exhale out. Okay, to the front of our yoga mat, moving through your side lunge, bend your left knee. And then crawl around to face forward. And step intentionally to your forward fold. Right foot comes to meet your left. Take a second. Uttanasana. Okay, we'll inhale to lift halfway. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, last chair pose, Utkatasana. And then let's go hands to heart right away, unless you would like to continue to reach your arms. From here, right foot is going to be our base. So let's start to shift to the right. Feel the right glute. Starting to draw your right heel down into the earth. Once you feel that line of energy, flamingo your left heel up and in. Again, core super strong and supportive. You're either going to keep your torso, your hips like basically exactly where they are, and just breathe in to tap your left big toe back to the ground. Can you press through your right heel? Think about your right shin bone pressing back in space as you exhale to that flamingo chair. Maybe hips get a little lower if you'd like more challenge. If you want it to be a little spicier, as you breathe in, drop back and down to the booty, step your left toes further back into a lunge. Exhale to your flamingo chair, big push to that right foot to come back in. One more time, whatever version you want. Inhale, left leg goes back. Exhale, flamingo chair. To find your staggered chair, feet hips distance, left toes are going to kickstand to the earth. Now really think about like bringing your hips back and down. Get as low as you'd like to. Like you're loading up. Big breath here. Hands can always reach down to the earth. Again, pressing the right knee back. On an exhale, begin to drive down, especially strong through your right heel. Rise all the way up to standing. Reach your hands tall. And then hands to heart center. Left foot meets your right, mountain pose. Breath through your nose. Open mouth, exhale, release. Shift your strength into your left foot. Begin to lift your right knee in line with your hip, one-legged mountain. You're moving into your figure four to release that right glute that just worked really hard for you. So as you stack your right ankle on your left thigh, begin to bend into your left knee and guide your pelvis back and down. Ooh, my hips are sore. I did a different workout yesterday, and it got me. Take one more breath here. Coming back to that commitment of a slow, expansive inhale. And a very slow, steady, complete exhale. Last little push, and then we're on the back body. As intentionally as you can you rise up with your right leg? Go slow to keep your steady. We'll meet in a high crescent lunge. You can choose to move through your airplane or warrior three along the way. Perhaps just offering that standing balance shape a full breath. As you are ready, your right toes will step back. You'll find your high crescent lunge, big breath in. Exhale, hands to the earth. Step back into your high plank position. And then child's pose, knees down, hips to your heels. Just take a moment. And from your child's pose, when you're ready to rise up, start to find your way through a seat. We're going to take one seated stretch and then we'll lay down. So I'll face you, but you can face the front of your yoga mat, or if you'd like to use the length of your yoga mat, you can rotate. So just on your left leg out long for Janu Sirsasana. Right foot comes in. Right knee is bent, left leg is extended. The angle of this can be adjusted to you. Right? So more narrow is going to be more hamstring focused. And as we open up, we get more into this like inner inseam of the leg, yeah? Flexing your left toes to the sky, grow tall, reach tall with a breath in. And then start to rotate into your side body stretch. So your left hand can go on the inside or the outside of your left leg or even onto your left leg. But as you dive down, you're going to twist your heart open, finding that big side body stretch to your right side. Think about heaviness through your right sitting bone. If this reach of your right hand overhead feels like a little too much, you can always take your right arm behind you into a half bind. So back of right hand to low back. Maybe left ear falling heavy to your left shoulder. Take a breath or two here. If you took the half bind, just sweep your right hand overhead to the side body stretch for one more moment. Then as we rise up, we're going to go into our stargazer. Right hand plants out from your right hip. Lifting your hips as you shift onto your right shin bone. Stretch your left hand to the sky. Maybe take a wrist swirl. And then melt your hips down and we'll switch out our legs. Bend your left knee in. Send your right leg long. Adjust your seat. Reach tall with your in-breath. And leaning to the right as you open your heart up to the left, your side body stretch. Again, you can always choose half bind, or you can continue to extend left arm up and overhead. Take about 2 cycles of breath. Eventually, as you're ready to transition out, re-extend the side body stretch just for a moment. And then slowly and gently rise to your stargazer, big sweep. As you lift your hips and your right hand high, take a breath in. And exhale to drop your hips back down. Now we're just going to find our way to the back body from here. Let's hug knees to heart space and just release backwards. You can always go slow and controlled with your core if you prefer. At the bottom, hands catch your right shin. Extend your left leg long across the earth. Gather your right thigh into your torso to offer length to your low back and take an inhale. Exhale to your supine twist, passing your right knee across you as your right shoulder drops heavy to the earth. And one slow inhale. And maybe an even slower exhale. option to stay a little bit longer in the twist. Otherwise, we're just going to be moving through center to switch sides. So as you return to your back body, bring your left leg in, release your right leg long. Use your hands to gather left thigh nice and tight to your torso and see how that results in some extra length through your low back. Breathe into that compression between belly and thigh. And exhale, supine twist. Maybe release and relax your right leg a little bit as you take a breath here. And coming back to center this next time, again, no rush. Either knees to chest, or if you want to take a moment in your butterfly. From here, we are going to make our way into Shavasana. If you needed a plow pose or a shoulder stand, just give yourself a few cycles of breath to travel through any final shapes or movements on your way to stillness. You can choose to find your traditional Shavasana. You could choose to take seated meditation. Maybe there's a different shape you'd prefer to rest in to close out your practice today. Giving yourself this permission to sink and settle. Releasing away all the effort and finding the ease to balance out your hard work. Staying present and connected to the awareness of breath and sensation. While giving yourself time and space to be, to notice, and to observe. You have a bit of space in your day. I encourage you and invite you to stay in Shavasana for a little bit longer. Allow yourself the opportunity just to kind of soak and marinate in your practice, your body, your breath. If you're ready to bring hands to heart center to close practice, just gathering hands to your chest. And taking with you into the rest of this day, this week, this season, your dedication and devotion, your commitment to mindfulness and practice, the introspection and reflection, reminding yourself to not abandon you along the way. Take a nice big breath in through your nose. When it feels right, just open your mouth and exhale that breath out. And may yoga provide us a path towards compassion. And may our practices always serve to teach us and to lead us, guiding us in that direction. And thank you so much for being here and making this time for you and your body and that relationship, for presence and for breath. And namaste.